You've heard it before. Do I even need to say it? Money can't buy happiness. We all thought that was mostly true. According to a study from 2010, happiness only rises with income up to $75,000. But the same researcher who conducted the 2010 study has new research, and it blows that $75K out of the water. Turns out, money can buy happiness, except for one particular group of people. In 2010, a study conducted by Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton found that happiness rose with income up to a certain point, $75,000. Nowadays, that's about $104,341, adjusting for inflation. This figure was shattered in 2021 when Matthew Killingsworth conducted a new study. This new study suggested that happiness continually rises with income up to $500,000, possibly higher. This posed the question, how could two studies led by experts get such totally different results? Enter Barbara Mellers, who acted as their facilitator, conducting further research using a process called adversarial collaboration. The new team revisited each study to find out the massive differences between them. They found out, for most people, happiness rises with income. Actually, they discovered there's no amount of money where earning more doesn't make you happier. And for most people, the higher amounts make you even more happy. But this still begged the question, how did the first study come up with a happiness cap that, for most people, doesn't seem to exist? One possible reason for the different findings was the way happiness was measured in both studies. The 2010 study used several years of a daily poll to find out if income increased happiness by asking, did you experience happiness yesterday? Using this data, they found people earning between $90K and $120K and people earning over $120K showed about the same level of happiness. Another way to say this is that happiness peaks at the income level just before $90K, which is $60,000 to $90,000. Somewhere in there, people no longer feel happier if they make more money. Except that's not what Killingsworth found in the 2021 study. Killingsworth didn't ask the question in the same way as the 2010 study. Participants were prompted 3 times a day for several weeks to answer the question, how do you feel right now? They could then answer on a sliding scale of 6 points from very bad to very good. In the 2022 review of both studies, the team agreed that this was a more sensitive measurement since it allowed for increases in happiness levels and not just feeling good or feeling bad. And what did the 2022 review decide about the big question? Does money buy happiness? Yes, it seems that it does. Using Killingworth's method, happiness scores are shown to increase forever, possibly only capping at $500,000 or more. Except the researchers also agreed that the 2010 study was accurate as well. How can they claim this? Because of a certain group of people dragging down the averages. Further analysis of the 2010 data showed that a relatively small but statistically impactful group of people, 15% in fact, are unhappy. They get slightly less unhappy as they make more money until they hit a ceiling. They show no increase in happiness after $100,000. They remain the same amount of unhappy no matter how much they make. That means that for most people, money does indeed buy happiness. But for some unhappy people, once you hit 6 figures, it's gotten as good as it gets. That 15% group brought down the results of the first study, making a ceiling that's really not there for most people. If money seems to increase happiness for most people, then why the heck are these stubborn 15% still unhappy? This question needs more research, but Kahneman and Killingsworth offer a reasonable hypothesis. It's likely that the unhappiest people have active life events that are so negative, money cannot overcome it. You can probably think of a few things that money can't fix: loss of a loved one, heartbreak, or mental disorders, to name a few possibilities. So what do these latest conclusions tell us? Does money buy happiness? Yes, if your life is tolerable or if your problems are solvable or be improved using money, which they generally are. Money buys happiness up to $100,000 and then it continues to buy happiness for 85% of people. At least up to $500,000, where the numbers probably get so big your brain can't really tell the difference anymore. There are other possible reasons that the 15% group does not see increased happiness with increased wealth over $100K. The first reason is a phenomenon called lifestyle clutter or creep. Anyone who has gotten a raise or seen an increase in income has probably experienced this on at least a small level. Let's say you've become wealthy. Yay! So what do you do with that money? Most of us would agree a wealthy person needs a flashy car, right? Something loud and sleek and probably foreign. But here's the thing, the world's most expensive cars are not very practical. They aren't safe on the road, they don't have much room inside, and they require a lot of upkeep. If your engine conks out or a part falls off, you can't just go have it fixed that day at the local mechanic shop. You'll need to go to a specialized repair shop for that brand, and they'll have to order the part from overseas. So while your fancy car is in the shop, or if you feel the need to drive safely, you'll need another car. But you won't want to buy something cheap. No, you'll still want something expensive, just a bit more reliable. So now you have two expensive cars. Where are you going to put them? You obviously need a bigger, nicer garage for your fancy cars, probably in an expensive neighborhood. But now you have this huge house and someone is going to have to clean it. Do you have time for that? Probably not, so you're going to hire people to clean it. See how it all stacks up? You thought you were just getting a fancy car, but now you have a new mortgage and a bunch of employees keeping up the place. All of this just so people can go, whoa, cool car, when you pull up at parties. Another reason more wealth may not equal happiness is that if you have money, people are going to want a piece of it. Think of those lottery horror stories when someone wins a bunch of money and then everyone comes out of the woodwork trying to get a slice. If you have money and people know it, you'll suddenly be the target of requests for gifts, donations, investments, even lawsuits, or at worst, kidnapping and ransom attempts. There is one way to avoid these negative effects of more money. It's called stealth wealth, and it's how most people with dough live their lives. What is stealth wealth? It's the practice of minimizing publicly available information about your net worth, aka not showing it off to everybody. Why would anyone do that? Isn't the nice thing about having money throwing it around? That's what it looks like in all the music videos anyway. Stealth wealth doesn't mean you don't buy nice things. It means you don't buy things just so other people can see it. People living like this are less likely to buy expensive foreign cars and more likely to buy a reliable, safe, and easily repaired vehicle, send their kids to good schools, and spend money and time on projects they're passionate about, such as philanthropy. To practice stealth wealth, you prioritize spending money on 3 things and don't spend money on anything else. First, you spend money on making yourself and your family more safe and financially secure. Then you spend money to make life easier and more comfortable. Note the focus on comfort. The flashy foreign cars looks nice, but isn't that comfortable to drive or easy to keep up. After that, money goes to things that are fun and fulfilling, like amazing vacations, charitable causes, or a hobby or goal you're passionate about. The idea is you buy things to make your life genuinely better, not just better looking. This is how money can really buy happiness. It's not the money itself directly. It's that money can be used to buy things that give real safety, fulfillment, and joy. If you're wealthy, you can still buy that once-in-a-lifetime vacation, buy courtside tickets, and do awesome, fun, expensive things. Just keep it to yourself and off of Instagram. Because surprisingly enough, stunting on Instagram is not a reliable path to lasting joy. Is all this talk of wealth, stealthy or otherwise, making you feel like you're not earning enough? The truth is, you're richer than you think. How well are you doing financially? The answer will surprise you. Click the link to find out now.